Hello everyone, and welcome back to another review episode. In this week's analysis, I'll be tackling a series that encompasses the themes of loss of innocence as I share my thoughts on The Magicians. However, note that I have never read the books that the series is based on. This video will be solely focused on what the series showcases, nothing more and nothing less. Before we get started on this video, please make sure that you're subscribed and up to date on this new chapter on this channel, and without further ado, let's dive deep into The Magicians. Chapter 1. Exploring the tales of fantasy with an adult lens. The fantasy genre has always had a strong following, with most people viewing it from their childhood perspective. Imagining the wonders creating worlds like Hogwarts and Middle-earth and interacting with beloved characters from these realms is something that many, including myself, have dreamed of. Now, picture all that love and imagination being shattered as you learn the truth of the darkness within the lands you once fantasized about. Quentin Coldwater faces this exact scenario, seen firsthand as viewers of both depiction of Fillory, first of his version of Fillory, one filled with intangible nature with an aura of magical beauty, retelling the story that he had once loved. His love for Fillory had always been the guiding light of his life, an escape even as an adult. However, the idyllic vision they described in his stories is just a story. By the time the viewers travel to Fillory with the other characters, none of that is sadly true. It is in fact a horrifying place filled with darkness, death, and despair. It captures the mature adult audience by transforming the once idealized childhood world into a complex mature reality, making them rethink of other fantasy genres and how it might have played out should it have been tailored for an adult audience. The Magician delves into a myriad of adults' themes, from grief and loss of purpose to even famine, resonating with the struggles adults face in their lives. This exploration of adults' themes in a once perfect child landscape creates a compelling narrative, fostering significant character development and impactful choices that shapes the entirety of its narrative. Chapter 2. Magic doesn't solve all of life's problems. I think a vast majority of people, including myself in their childhood, believe that all of our life's problems would go away if magic was real. But what would really happen if people had the responsibility of wielding such powers that in concept could do anything we imagine? Many films and television series have showcased this in great detail, each teaching the viewers that the responsibility of magic is something to be cautious of. The Magicians takes this conversation to another level. What was once believed to be a fantasy for many of these characters when they were young, living oblivious to the existence of magic, changes dramatically when they enter the world of magic and learn that it alters lives in both good and ugly ways. The notion that magic will make things better is a fantasy everyone tells themselves, having struggled in life from the smallest things to the bigger issues that matters. That is the same with magic. It isn't a force to take lightly. It takes time to learn, and if done incorrectly, it can have tremendous consequences that people never consider. Each thought and action put into casting a spell needs to be carefully considered, as well as how it might affect the lives of others. Students at Breakbills, in their efforts to nurture the magical talent, faces many adversities, from the mundane struggles of trying to cast a simple spell to the more tragic ones like death and so much worse. Elliot's message in the second episode encapsulates this perfectly.
Funny little irony they don't tell you. Magic doesn't come from talent. It comes from pain.
Just because magic exists doesn't mean life will change for the better. Just like in real life, magic comes at a cost, and sometimes it can be more than what we face in real life. Throughout the series, each character faces their own adversities with magic. They endure tremendous heartaches and losses that forces them to grow into better magicians. But the tragedies they face also define who they are. They come to understand where magic lies in the natural order, which is why they become proficient in it. Magic doesn't make life better. It always comes at a huge price, and if there is only one thing that the viewers can take away from the series, then this is the lesson. Chapter 3. An Addiction to Magic. Even though I had previously mentioned that magic doesn't solve all of life's problems, magic can be addicting. What drugs are to drug addicts, or alcohol is to alcoholics, magic to magicians is the source of their addiction. Magic to magician is how they see themselves defined, the unique individualism that it provides them. No matter which class of magic one specializes in, it becomes the crux of their identity. Just like anything in life, however, magic is a privilege. The source of it can just as easily be turned off by a higher power. In the aftermath of such actions, just like addicts, they strive to seek any fix they can in trying to fill a hole that has been opened. The times when magic is lost reveals who they are. Without magic, who are you? This is the question that the magician faced during the third season. Most magicians low in the hierarchical order are forced into going back into mundane life, struggling to get by, knowing how much easier life would be if magic was still around. Those with higher power and authority, like the agents of the library or those rich enough to afford it, try to get their fix in any way possible. From killing mythical creatures that coexist within the world just to get their fix, to trying to take magic from others by any means possible, even if that means death for the other person. It becomes the way of life for those with higher authority. Even after a group of magicians on a quest manages to restore magic, the viewer witnesses the myriad of side effects left by the lost time of magic. Those with higher power takes credit for the discovery of the magical current and erases the memory of the group of magicians that discovered it in the first place, leaving them to have more power than ever in controlling the supply of magic, while the ordinary magicians are left in the gutter, having to scrape what is left by those higher than them until they take action. To magicians, magic is just another source of addictions. Without it, their real characters come out, making the viewers wonder what would really happen if magic was real in our world. Chapter 4: Life's Tragedies. In a world where magic exists, it brings both beauty and major tragedies into the lives of the people within it. While misguided action can have unintended ripple effects, causing irreversible damages. The unpredictability of magic is what magicians live for, encompassing both the joyous highlights they cherish for eternity and the painful memories they wish to forget, which ironically shapes them into who they are. The series revolves around life's tragedies. Even when characters attempt good deeds, consequences inevitably follows. Throughout the series, numerous moments illustrate how the characters' actions lead to significant tragedies. From the initial quest to defeat the beast to the decision to kill the gods of Fillory, many choices result in unintended consequences that profoundly impact the narrative. Despite these numerous tragic events, most of the magician fandom, along with myself, agreed that the most tragic story is the relationship between Quentin and Elliot. The relationship begins with a simple friendship and evolves into a profound bond during a quest that leads them to live an entire life in the past, a period referred to by the fans as Peaches and Plums. In past Fillory, while solving the mosaic, they experience a full life together, sharing countless emotions and relationships. However, this life is raised for the continuation of the story. The proof of their once happy life is gone, and just as Elliot's ready to admit his mistakes and embrace their relationship, they're forced apart. Elliot becomes possessed by an ancient monster, and in attempts to save him, Quentin sacrifices himself. The two never get to acknowledge their love for one another, leaving viewers frustrated that the narrative prevented them from having a serious relationship. Even with magic, life in the series is filled with tragedies. While there are many examples of tragic events throughout the story, the relationship between Quentin and Ellie stands out as the pinnacle of tragedies within the series. Chapter 5: Musical Wonders. There was absolutely no way that I was going to forget to mention this within my analysis at one point or another, as not all spells within the magicians have to have a terrible consequence. Some spells also have the power to highlight the beauty in magic. With a vast talent within the cast, many of whom having a musical background, the series takes full advantage of their talents and the uniqueness of storytelling through magic. The scale of the musical becomes grander, trying to beat what they have done in the previous season, making these unique moments something to look forward to in each coming season. Seeing the endless possibilities when it comes to magic, and being able to go into the many spectrums of genres of storytelling. Just like magic, music is a powerful way to tell a narrative. With each musical number, it brings out a hidden feeling of those singing. Whether it's about feeling a sense of loss, being left out, or even grief, singing through music can sometimes be a comfort. Being able to share the feelings you have expressed within yourself because you have no reliable way to convey them through simple words or messages, and the outlet that can help is music. Whether it's just a single piece of music within the episode or an entire musical episode, this episode elevates the mood of the viewers, especially as these musical episodes usually takes place within the epicenter of the season's climax, when tragedies and dramas become more frequent. The levity these musical numbers provide becomes a beacon of hope for the viewers, while also giving an outlet for these characters to be followed to release all their tension in the darkest hours. Chapter 6: The Ending. After all the struggles faced by the magicians, from discovering the existence of magic and learning both the beauties and tragedies that comes with it, losing magic for good to finally restoring magic for everyone, magic, in a sense, could be considered another main character within the series. With all the beauties that magic can provide to the magicians, it is also a currency that can divide and fracture like-minded people, with some thinking they deserve magic more than the others, creating a hierarchical structure that is unfair for most magic practitioners. Yet as the narrative comes to a close, the global community of magicians starts to accept each other, finding a way to share magic with everyone. The journey of cooperation with magic becomes a key message as the series ends. Instead of segregating certain communities, they should work together to live and share the magical current that the protagonist of the series has fought so much during the series. Make everyone's sacrifice count. The sacrifice should not be in vain. From the people that the series has lost, from Penny to Quentin, to those still around, who too finds their next chapter in life, from some starting to rebuild the lands in New Fillory, to others who takes on a more leadership role within the magical community. Even if that meant fighting for everyone to be on equal grounds, the deep community that is created leaves behind a profound message about community. Thank you for watching this video. For those who have not watched the series yet, I hope this analysis has helped tip the scale into watching it for yourself. The Magicians is a very powerful series that makes you wonder what magic would do to us if it existed. Would all our wishes and dreams come true, or would it create an even darker world than it is today? This new chapter in my channel is still ongoing, tackling many series to come, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. Be sure to leave a like, share this video with your friends, and click on the notification bell to stay up to date on upcoming content. And I will see you soon for another review episode.